Okay, so I'm thinking we discussed last time that we'll be doing uh, vending machine. So, but I have another design idea, which is like a design a meeting scheduler. So, what do you guys think? Which one you want to pick?
Meeting
What was the
scheduler.
second option?
That's a meeting scheduler, which is like you need. There are
Oh, okay. Yeah.
like we have a question related to that, but it's basically how you structure it in a way in an object oriented. Like, shall I
Okay.
go ahead and put the requirements?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay, so I have sent the CoderPad link on our chat, and let's get started. So I have a couple of requirements which I am seeing. So here is that. So here it's mentioned that, shall I share my screen? Oh yeah. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So here are the requirements, which is uh, provided there are n giving meeting rooms, and we need to book a meeting in any meeting room at a given interval, which is start time and end time, which would also we need to send notifications to all the person who are invited for meeting. They said that you use calendar for tracking date and time.
Okay.
And so also there's another requirement, which is you need to provide history of all the meetings which were booked and in that meeting room eventually. I think so. History of all the meetings which are booked.
So this history means the past history or the ones which are yet to come?
The history is the past, like what our meetings have happened, like all the meetings which have happened
Okay.
previously.
So in that case, we would also need a range, like, because it might be a huge one also. Something like that. Yeah. Okay.
So I think we need to start with the simple structure first of all.
Sure.
So what do you guys think would be our?
Is there a recurrence meeting or it's only one time?
Yeah, that is also.
So right now it's we just need to book a room in the given interval. I don't think so. We are going for a recurrence meeting.
Okay, so there are n given meeting rooms.
Yeah, there are n given meeting rooms, and we need to book a meeting. So which is like you need to book a meeting in a given interval, and in that means in that way we need to check if that we can schedule that meeting or not in that interval. Like for example, if we have only n meeting rooms, if that meeting room uh, is not booked at that particular time, like means
Okay.
yeah, if we're not able to book any room in that time, then we need to return something like not able to book.
So book a meeting and
Okay, so
also.
what are the classes we guys are thinking for this?
But is the requirement complete or we do want to go through it again?
Yeah, what use case we are trying to solve?
So let's stick upon this. First of all, there are n meeting rooms. We need to check book a meeting at a given interval.
And we should also send notification.
So yeah, so this is another requirement, which is to send a notification for that meetings to all the
People
people who are attendees.
and use calendar.
And there is this requirement says use calendar for tracking date and time. Like
What that mean?
this means that we have a like there is a calendar or any class of calendar that I think which will track all the date and times, and if we can book at that particular date and time, that's good. Otherwise, we'll be sending that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, what about the room? Do we need to the number of people attending the meeting, right? We also need to determine the room size, capacity of the room.
Yeah.
So we can do an assumption that um, that we don't have a we'll be having enough capacity. We can.
No, I think there could be meeting rooms which it could become something like we did, like a parking lot or the
Yeah.
lot
So
like, hey, you have like a room with 5 people, 10 or 15, the max capacity.
so that
And
would be the another I would say V2 version. So match rooms according to
so when somebody's trying to book a room,
capacity.
we are assuming like
So we are assuming that for this, what I was thinking that we can assume that we have enough.
but you what is then still there should be some upper limit of the meeting room.
Sorry.
Upper limit, how much people a meeting room can hold.
Let's say 100.
So all rooms are there with 100 capacity.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are actually focusing only on booking a meeting room. That's all, right?
Yeah.
So you are not considering how many people are going to join right now, right?
It would be easy extension when defining.
It could be extension.
You can just tell like what is the, and then while picking up a meeting room, that will become another condition.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that would
I
be
think, Azim, what you said about the parking lot, right? Small, medium, and large, something
Hmm.
like that. We can take 3 categories, maybe just
Yeah.
seeing them there, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay,
Okay.
that's good.
What other entities? What any other requirements you have?
So are you going to solve for different capacity, or you're going with single capacity, like fixed capacity?
So, like, what do you guys think? If you want to go for a different capacity, then we need to implement that the whole structure of a parking lot.
No, I think it should be like it should have the flexibility to define a capacity. If we are not using or something like that, that could be differ. Like,
So
but
I would say that would be like another use case, which is we
no,
need to.
then it will be very difficult to extend your classes later if you never put them in the first place.
Okay. Okay, so let's consider then if whenever any meeting which needs to be scheduled, uh, including the start time and end time, they need to provide the capacity
Yeah,
they require.
you can go with like fixed capacity, but the meeting room should have the way to figure it out, and it should not be that tricky.
So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
based on attribute, right, in a meeting
It's
room.
just an attribute, and it should just in our calculation,
mm-hmm.
just another attribute.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that while we are implementing, if we have a fixed capacity of so fixed capacity, what you're trying to say? Fixed
Now, so
capacity.
every meeting room can define their own number of people. It could be 10, 15, 20. So we can assume like we have in our company, we have meeting rooms which are 5, 10, 15. That's it.
Okay.
Here,
Okay.
100 capacity, what does it mean? 100 rooms?
No.
No,
No,
the
capacity
capacity
of
is
a
single room.
particular single room. Yeah. Yeah, so we could, the reason why I think Asim is saying we could have 3 different lists for something like that, small, medium, and all that, large one, and then we can pick it from them, So whenever we are booking, so we'll have a free list and then we'll have a book list, something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, that should not be a really big thing, right?
Yeah, we did like an optimal approach last time. We can skip that this time.
Yeah.
But it should but if you see a real world meeting room entity, it always come with the site.
Right. That is
And that is not for the meeting room, that is also for this purpose. If there is some emergency, like a meeting room defines how many people are there max. If it is going more than that, then it is a violation of law also.
okay.
Okay, so we can go with this, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So what you're doing, finding. Okay. Okay. So your requirement is given and book a meeting room, send notifications, and history we are not doing, right?
It's up to us. We have a time that we can do. I think it will not such a hard. We just needs to. It would scan what are the history, like if we are saying last history of just last 20 or
Last
less than 20, whatever, like first 20 or something, last 20, sorry,
what is last 20?
last 20 meetings have happened in previously.
Okay, I won't worry too much about history, but
Okay, so I think we can comment that for now. Okay, so
And one more quick thing. When you said use calendar for tracking date and time, so is the calendar actually should be specific to a user, right? Because whenever he
I think
books it, that will show up in his calendar,
I
and
think
then
that
he will come.
calendar should be for the meeting rooms.
I think this calendar can be really hard. Yeah, like that Sator said, that can be user's calendar, or that can also be the room calendar. Room calendar can be
Yeah,
simple.
Okay.
yeah, room calendar can be done like because
Okay, no problem.
we need to check. Sorry, we need to check calendar according to the room. We need to book the room according to the calendar tracking, which is like what are the. So simply we can say that if we are not having the calendar, we just need to track what's the date and time, what we should do. We need to check the calendar of the room.
Okay, I think that should be fair enough.
so what
Then
would be
we
your entity?
So I'm thinking I'll be having like definitely scheduler, which would be overall. But before that, I am thinking like uh,
so do we want to call a scheduler or just a meeting scheduler?
we can call meeting scheduler also.
So you should have something like a room.
The meeting room
Meeting
will be
room.
one. Yeah.
Yes.
And
So I think. So shall we write all the entities first, and
yeah,
then
first let's
Yeah.
write all the entities.
okay. So meeting room definitely. I think calendar.
Calendar, okay.
Yeah.
Then
Notifications.
Okay, notifications.
Yeah, before that, I think the user is also right. The person
Oh
or
yeah, attendee, or we can say, or user. Yeah.
User and then meeting should also be self object.
Yes. Yeah. We need to create a meeting.
Okay, looks good.
Oh, what is the detail in the calendar? Is
I
the
think
time range or more than that? Like which room we're going to
so.
have?
Calendar. I am thinking calendar would check if that meeting can be happen in that particular time or not.
So it's just the interval of the time.
Yes, in that interval of the time.
Okay.
Okay, so So let's start defining the properties.
So this I am thinking of ID, email. So
Name. Yeah, all that.
yeah,
Yeah, that should be fine.
that should be fine right for now.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, I think that's totally understood. Like what is there, what constructor needs to pass. So meeting room is definitely we need to find how many meeting rooms are there.
No, meeting
No,
room.
meeting room is
Yeah,
like
just an ID, right?
ID, yes.
Meeting room with it's
Meeting
like
room. Let's see.
And a location or something like that, and then the capacity.
ID and capacity. Yeah.
Okay.
Location itself could be entity, but we can pass for now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now is the user going to book a meeting room, or the meeting room will have a booking
I think meeting
function?
scheduler will be doing everything on
But
that behalf.
but meeting room should tell whether I'm available.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so status.
that would be like um, if like is available meeting room by start and end time. I
Mhm.
think that we need to pass check the capacity also for
Why?
like if that like in that like I'm saying this is one
So that
and
that will only tell like I am available, and if somebody has
so this also needs to pass over here then.
no, I don't think so.
But
Why?
how if that for
So,
example if
so
someone
first we'll
meeting
check.
needs to pass that needs if it is available then they needs to check if that is in a capacity or not that room.
No, so basically, think about like parking lot. You can
Sorry,
always
I'm
go.
getting disturbance. Please, can you say?
Yeah, I think
I'm
Hello.
saying,
capacity not required because whenever you are booking, right? So whenever it's available, you know the meeting room is of that capacity. It's like rigid, a particular meeting room, right? So whenever the meeting scheduler is trying to book a meeting room, he will just select a meeting room based on the its capacity.
Okay, so you're saying that that meeting scheduler will be checking that capacity.
and you can always like, for example, you have only one capacity. Like your meeting room can have only 10 people, but uh, all the rooms are booked. You can still assign it to that one person. Your logic will become so complicated. Like if the meeting room is 10 capacity, if I send you 5, what you will say? No.
Okay. Okay, so I think this would available will check the calendar.
Yeah, then here the thing that the meeting room seems to be more than just a meeting room. That it's more like an intersection between the room and the time. So if you have it's available in meeting room. So I think that
So
ideally that the meeting room should represent only the room itself. You know where the location is, but it doesn't know that one at a certain time this room is allocated to which one or not. So that seems to be anyway, I think there's so meeting room and the calendar should be two separate things.
Yeah,
And
I think she's planning to use calendar to check.
Yeah, I'm for yes for timing. I am going to check in the calendar. But
But
I
I
am
think what
still
Hiran
confused
is
in
saying, in a meeting
capacity.
scheduler, whenever we are booking a meeting room, we know what a time slot is. So that time slot or the range of the time should be, part of the meeting scheduler. So meeting room should just be ID and capacity, or maybe just the number of users. And whatever is the schedule based on start and time, that time range, that should be actually that bookkeeping should be done in the meeting scheduler.
I think
The
then
media
both
Then
scheduler,
meeting
will be
schedulers
doing
have a
that,
lot of
but
responsibility.
yeah, meeting scheduler will be, for example, if we have we'll be taking meetings array meeting rooms. They'll be having meeting rooms array of n size. Let's
do you
say.
guys have any whiteboard?
I can annotate.
I feel like here we have, if we are talking about table, that we can have two tables. One table can be the rooms, and another table can be the calendar, the time. And then the meeting scheduler should return, when the schedule a time, it should return a pair of objects of the room and the time.
So I think that would send the meeting room. Why time? Because time is the only thing which the meeting is want. Like meeting. So this meeting would be creating the that meeting, whatever the start and time. That
But
would
the
be another object. We need to return that meeting room.
here the meeting, what's the meeting here?
So this is like a meeting, whatever the meeting is. Basically,
So I
what
think the meeting will have the calendar and the meeting room, and also maybe the users, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So
Okay.
you're
Probably.
saying meeting would have a calendar and meeting room. You're saying
Yeah,
this?
I think the meeting itself represent when a meeting should happen and who is going to attend it. So 3 items:
So, and what
when,
room is
where, and
assigned to
who.
that meeting?
Yeah, the users. Yeah.
Yeah, the users, the third thing.
Okay. So that's the role of the meeting. I think we'll reach over there. Uh, so the only question is like in whether we need to check the capacity in our here meeting room or in a meeting scheduler.
I don't understand.
So okay, so let's we come. Can we complete this part meeting room? What you guys think?
Yeah, I think in the meeting room, it's just a room. It should not know any other things. It should not have the knowledge of who is going to attend this meeting and when this meeting is going to hold.
No, I think
I think
what
it's just checking is available or not, or yeah, I'm thinking.
Okay,
okay,
then
I think
this.
what you do, just go ahead and put whatever you're thinking, and then we should.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the start and end is required because we can actually have many slots for a single meeting room, right?
I'm just thinking it
Yeah.
would be passing another method.
Yeah.
Do you want check availability or?
So well, let's say I have a calendar class.
It should come as a constructor only.
Yeah. So this would be like check available.
Yeah, I feel like this has some
And just like that.
Could you increase the font size, Sonia?
Sorry.
Where you can see it. Could you increase the font size?
Font
Oh,
size.
oh, okay. Let me do it. Is it fine now?
You can make it 125.
How to remove?
You have to click on annotation and then
Done. Okay, so what other functions meeting room should be giving? I think scheduler would be doing, if we want to check to schedule the meeting, that would be done in the meeting scheduler. Like if we are checking that if that meeting room is available, if it's saying yes, it is available, then we need to schedule from here only, correct?
yeah, but do you need a schedule meeting in meeting room or
Meeting room, so which is like uh, that would be called to that meeting object.
okay, go ahead then.
I'm just like schedule meeting.
But I thought like whenever you put a start and end, that itself will be okay. So you'll
This would
use this
check
one.
the
Okay,
availability,
got it. Yeah, no
and
problem.
here would be like calendar would no, so not calendar. This would be we need to schedule a meeting in a meeting,
No, I think
You're
calendar
just
is
storing that.
doing that.
Yeah.
or calendar would check.
You'll store that start and end in this calendar of that meeting room, right?
Yeah. Yes,
So
yes.
your available will know about it.
Yeah, that's correct. Schedule meeting. Okay, so we have a calendar, and calendar would be having all the meetings. Um, and
Why calendar should have all the meetings?
so whatever, calendar must be knowing what are the meetings it is going on, like a list of meetings.
No,
So
that should be a
calendar,
part of.
so meeting room has a one-to-one with calendar. So this calendar would hold all the meetings of that meeting room. That's what my understanding. Looking to this.
So when we are saying then calendar check availability, so how it would be checking the availability in a start and end time? I'm thinking. So
So
it
it's
would
in
be
this.
it would be going to all those meetings list if it is if that timing is not coming in between some other uh, uh,
So in this
meeting.
case, what's the purpose of this calendar?
Yeah.
Are you going to allocate a time interval, or are you going to allocate a meeting?
I think should be the
Well,
time interval, right?
Yeah, this is more like a memory allocation. So if memory allocation, you just need to allocate how big this memory is. 4 bytes, 8 bytes, so whatever bytes they want. But it doesn't need to know that what type of the return value can be. So in this case, I think it should manage the interval only.
So you're saying we need to have the class of interval?
Yeah,
Which
so
give
anything that represent interval.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
Which is
also can allocate the time.
okay, which is we don't need timing. It's just an interval.
Yeah.
So whatever the timing has been passed, it would needs to create that interval. Let's say it is interval we are passing.
Yeah, and in this case, meeting room is more like need a interval rather than the whole calendar.
I thought that interval is just like to store the start and end.
Or maybe the calendar itself holds the whole interval and
Okay, so it's like all the intervals, not the meetings.
Yeah.
Intervals.
Maybe like a vector or something of intervals. Yeah.
So
No, but
it is creating the intervals.
so I
Okay.
thought meeting object was something which has ID.
anyway, which object which class is going to allocate the time? Is managed by the interval or it's managed by the calendar?
Well, time should be allocated by the scheduler, right?
I think meeting. So first of all, we need calendar will check if that
For
is
the meeting,
available. Yeah, then it will be meeting would be like, so I think calendar can also like find that if calendar would schedule that meeting in of that interval. So what I am thinking is like first of all, it needs to check if it is available or not. Whatever the interval we have. So in that, I thinking we need to traverse all the intervals list.
Yeah, let's skip the detail.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Intervals and in for like it's there needs to be check something like some check if interval. So whatever the current that is having.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of details here.
Yeah, so inter is equal to interval should be fine, right? Then you return true or false, something like that. Yeah.
No. I'm just liking it is if it is something outer, then we can't because it's not available. We'll be saying like if that in given interval dot um, like
Here you
something
start.
and is greater than inter dot.
Oh, you're trying to find the overlaps. Okay,
Yeah, I'm for trying to find the overlap.
makes sense. Yeah.
That's
In that case, your interval should be sorted, something like that.
Yeah.
But that's we can say or inter dot end.
Yeah.
I think we need to return false that it's not available. Otherwise, it will be returning true.
Okay.
If we are saying if it is checking available. So whosoever has passed to check the available, then if this is true, then it would only goes to the schedule meeting, which I am thinking. Schedule meeting. And this schedule meeting will create a meeting with all the details. And so, yeah. But so only question is how it will be getting a room. This room.
kind of shouldn't know anything about the meeting itself. It only need to allocate the interval.
Right.
Here.
So I thought maybe instead of on line 58, instead of schedule meeting, we should just say book meeting. Oh, just book the interval, right? Not even schedule meeting. And
Agree.
that interval
Or
should be
like-
actually blocked. That's all in the intervals.
So that interval needs to put over here, you're saying. Like this
In
is a
the-
list of intervals
Right.
and
Yeah, so instead of calling a schedule meeting, you could call book an interval.
okay.
In line 58.
No, that is fine. That is, I don't want you to change that. I think, yeah, that is okay. On line 58, yeah.
Okay, so book interval.
Yeah.
And that is coming in like that is coming because
Yeah, because you'll check availability. If it is available, then you'll book it, right? So that you'll have to do.
like whosoever
check.
is calling, yeah, whosoever is calling
Yeah.
to here. So yeah, so that thing is done. How we'll be able to go and create a meeting for that? So what I am thinking, like, so this meeting should be getting something. The room star in and the interval. So this meeting, if is some meeting is there, then it needs to pass to somewhere that this meeting has been uh, booked and that meeting has been provided with the room. So some call needs to be done to that meeting with the room, that meeting room.
Okay, so you're saying meeting should have a meeting room as a
Mhm.
part.
Yes, something like meeting is meeting ID, room or room ID, something, and interval. So then, only then we will be saying that yes, that meeting has been created.
Okay.
So I think the room. The only question is how we'll be passing the room to. So if we say that room is.
I think that meeting we can come later, right? Why don't we actually work on the schedule? Because right now, at least we have defined to some extent those parameters in the constructor, right?
Yeah, so yeah, we can go ahead.
Yeah, so maybe because we'll come to know what actually the function calls are required there.
Okay, so we have some kind of a meeting rooms of n size. This is the way. And what scheduler will be doing?
So that our use case, right? That will be the main thing what the scheduler will be doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
One is going to find if a meeting room is.
I think we need a constructor first. What this scheduler will be getting? Number of rooms, I think. That I'll be creating over. Number of rooms, something.
Okay.
So list of the meeting rooms.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if we need to create the meeting rooms object as well as, because these rooms are obviously the meeting room.
Yeah, it should be it should be that
In
meeting room.
Python, is there a way to assign the objects like composition?
Sorry?
In Python, is
Mm-hmm.
the way to assign the objects like composition? Say, for example, so meeting room contains meetings, and that meeting rooms has been assigned to the meeting scheduler. So it will
You're
take
saying meeting
the
room?
yes. So a meeting scheduler should contain the list of meeting rooms. So it has to iterate each and every meeting room and schedule the meeting, something like that.
Okay, so you're
Is
saying
that
that we need to create the meeting rooms list
as a
of
list?
meeting
Because
rooms.
meeting room is a class, right? So we can say it is an object. So we can create a list of objects here. So we can just iterate the objects one by one, and we can schedule the meeting for each meeting room.
So this way we
So
can create uh, if we are not passing anything. So this is an
I think that would be a separate method because you need to pass ID.
yeah.
Yeah, I think just just put a comment like a exactly right side like like another method to generate meeting rooms.
So this will generate all the meeting rooms first over here. And yes. So what other is, I think we need to book a meeting. Book meeting.
Yes, book or schedule the meeting. And one more thing is like inside this meeting room, we have a meeting class. So that from that meeting room, we can pick this meeting class and schedule the meeting. Because this meeting class contains the entire things, right? Meeting ID, room ID, and the interval. These properties which meeting is containing. So we need those properties to schedule the meeting.
Okay, so you're saying that first of all, we need to get the meeting.
Not here. Inside meeting room, you have to create a meeting,
Okay, so
which
this,
means that it's like a composition. You are assigning that meeting object to this meeting room.
I think he's telling go up in the meeting room.
That is what we said, right? In the meeting, we will be doing, because we wanted meeting room to be just an object, but meeting will have all that burden, right?
Yes.
yeah, this would be having all the ID and interval. This would have everything.
So should the meeting, the class meeting, its object should be a part of our meeting scheduler or not? I'm just asking a question. Maybe if we have a list of meetings in a meeting scheduler, so whenever we are booking, we'll look for that list, okay, and then we look for each and every room and interval, and then book.
So you're saying we need to have a meetings list,
Yeah, list of meeting in the meeting scheduler.
but we'll be calling that class which is having all the intervals, like like meeting room will be having meeting scheduler will be having all the meeting rooms, and in that meeting rooms we need to go to each room. So as we are saying that this would generate each room all this this thing, and that would call, if we are going, like if that meeting room if we are traversing all the meeting rooms, and in each meeting room we can check if it is available or not. It's something like uh, for meet room in meeting rooms. We'll need to check if room is available, which we have created with that interval.
I think here that we delegate the work of actually scheduling into each individual meeting rooms. Makes sense.
So
Sorry?
here, how do you relate the meeting rooms and meeting? So, because with the help of meeting only, we can schedule or book a meeting, right? So, how can we access meeting here?
Okay, so you're saying that meeting should come first, then a meeting scheduler would
No, no,
come.
no. I'm just asking to clarify my doubt. That's it.
Okay, so what's the requirement? There are n given meeting rooms. Book a meeting in any meeting room at a given interval. So we'll be giving an interval. We
Okay.
need to check if that interval is available and a meeting room is available. We can create that meeting. Like how will we create? If
Okay.
we go into that calendar and calendar saying yes, this particular time you have, then we create whatever the event we want to create at that time.
Okay.
So that's
I
what I was
might be
thinking.
wrong. That okay. In this situation, I have a small suggestion, right?
Yeah.
So inside the meeting room, we have to create meeting, right? Which means
Yes.
what I'm trying to say is we have a class called as meeting room. So inside that, we should have a meeting as a reference, so that we can easily book the meeting inside the scheduler class.
Then it should have list of meetings.
Yes, something like that.
No, meeting room can't have the list of meetings. Why?
No, if we are going this route.
It's
If we
just
want
needs
to, if we want to keep them independent, then yeah.
So this class should be giving, I think this needs to complete, which is schedule a meeting. And if we schedule a meeting over
So
here,
where you are using that book interval?
I think this should be called from meeting scheduler. This is like calendar.book interval.
Okay, and then
It needs to check schedule a meeting, and that schedule meeting, I was thinking over here that.
But are they both not the same then?
This would create a meeting of interval dot start and end.
why we are sending start and here?
Oh, sorry.
Room
No,
ID,
sorry.
yeah.
We already having interval.
Yeah.
So meeting is we need to put a meeting ID. I think we can say that it would be auto generated something. We just need a room ID over here.
Yeah.
If room ID should be coming from the.
Okay, now. Okay. So calendar will have a scheduled meeting and okay. Okay.
So here it is creating a meeting. I think.
Then you need meetings also, like.
Yeah. But that's what the same thing is, intervals. All meetings would be separate.
It looks like the meeting is redundant, right? Some way. The meeting class is something like redundant.
Okay,
you finish first and then we'll see.
Yeah.
So that's what I was getting. I got confused. Like someone said that we need to find in an interval, but
Yeah. Either way, let's finish this and then circle back.
So we need to add the room over here. We need to pass some room. I think calendar can create another meeting room.
No, calendar should have the calendar constructor should get the meeting room or something like that. It at least should have the meeting room ID.
So you're saying whenever we are calling this, this meeting room will be giving ID.
And then you can use that ID to pass. I don't know how good we are going in terms of design, but let's first wrap it up. And
yeah, that's okay, right? Yeah. Only the scheduler part is slightly more important because these small things we can tweak, right, here and there. Yeah.
Okay, so you passing self room ID and you schedule the meeting.
And this can be like this, whatever the meeting we get, we can return that meeting we have created. So this book meeting would be checking each room in the meeting room, and we'll check if it is available in that interval. So it will schedule the meeting. So it will call that room room dot schedule the meeting, and we'll be getting meeting which is created. So this would go over here, meeting room, and it would book the interval, and it would, so it needs to get the meeting, and it here also it will needs to return, or I will be directly returning from here. So this will return this meeting, and we can add.
Now where you will add the invitees?
So I think we can create another class.
So your meeting should now, so your scheduler should add people to that meeting room.
So we have created the meeting right now. So this was the first case, book a meeting in a meeting room, and this is done.
Okay.
So we have created a book meeting.
And who will now call invite?
So whosoever has called the meeting scheduler,
Book meeting.
book meeting. So after that, whatever the meeting has been scheduled, we need to check another function, create, to send the invite, something like this.
Okay.
But are we not planning to add those users as a part of that meeting class, or maybe somewhere?
So I think it could be part of book meeting only. You send the book interval comma users, and it will do everything for you. Book meeting interval comma user, like line 93.
In the same method, we can actually add all the users, and then
meeting dot add users, you can add to that.
Okay, so here meeting should have I think we haven't completed the meeting class, add user.
Users. I think should take a list of users.
So this would be it has extended, like added all the users.
Now who will send the notification?
So that's so if that meeting is created, can we call that meeting class only to send the invite? No, that would not be.
So you're telling meeting class would be responsible. So as soon as meeting would add users, it will send the notification.
That also looks good, right?
Okay, try that. So no. Add users will do now. So you will have notification service.
Yeah, that's a different notification service.
You need an object of that notification in meeting. So you can create an object of notifications.
Oh, sorry. It should be created in a
meeting class.
Okay.
Self.notification.
Okay, so.
And then you might want to create a.
So notification, you're saying whenever we add all the users, we can send the notification over here.
Yeah, it should take some template and.
So we need to tell them that this meeting is being scheduled, like how it will be notified. because
Yeah, so we have to send a notification for these users. This is the meeting meeting ID, room
The
ID,
time.
sorry,
Yeah, and the time. Yeah.
and the time. And
so notification service, whatever the notification service is there,
like
uh,
send email or something.
dot send email to all the users, something like that.
So it should take some template.
So yeah, it would take some template from here, whatever the send email function is having.
But couple of things are missing, like what is subject of the meeting, email, or
That would be the template on the notification.
no, but subject could be custom. Or we are telling like all there would be like
Subject is missing, correct. Yeah. So maybe
subject.
subject can be made a part of a class meeting.
No,
we
it
can.
should come as part of when we are
So whatever the template we have, we need to send some template. You're saying?
templates and user email ID and yeah, we have to fill a
We're
template.
sending the users.
Okay, so
So whatever the send emails, we'll be calling that function. That function will do all these like what are the templates
yeah,
and
then template. Do we need template as a separate entity then? Like it should have a subject.
Yeah. Maybe a separate entity with subject and
okay.
the time interval and user ID, right? Email or something like that. And interval.
Okay. So something like this will needs to be added.
But can you call a class template? Is that not a reserved word in Python?
We need to class template is equal to template.
Santosh was asking template is a.
I'm just asking question. I don't know. Yeah.
No, I think otherwise it could complain.
Okay. Okay.
We can try it then putting the class.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the question. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Okay,
That's
so
your
his
word.
question is a template a keyword in Python? Looks like no.
I don't think so.
Oh, no problem.
So actually, it is throwing error because maybe something I'm not done. Oh,
Let's ignore this. We
Oh,
don't
okay.
really need a real Python code.
Because now notification object takes the temp. Okay.
Yes, it's taking this.
No. Okay. So
I
yeah,
think
okay. So the idea was like this.
we need to complete this meeting scheduler as well. So what other things we have done? Like also send notifications to all persons who are invited for meeting. I think this is in between we have done.
Yeah. Only the history is remaining. I think. Yeah, but that we are not doing anyway, right?
I think that can be we have like just
And
an
we haven't
add-on.
asked one other requirement. Can we cancel the meeting?
Oh yeah, that should be a part of that. Yeah.
Cancel the meeting.
Yeah, then it would be a little different. All your entities should support that.
So cancel meeting, we will be just getting that meeting,
Meeting ID.
whatever that meeting is.
Then it will go find everything.
So it will go find
Meeting room.
meeting room because that meeting has this room ID interval note. So I don't think so. Oh yeah, we need to send the notification. Yes, that meetings has been cancelled to all the users.
Yeah, so there would be more work.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you'll have to have a remove users in that also. So we'll
Hmm.
be removing everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so I think we have done with this all.
Yeah. At least the requirements what we decided,
Yeah.
we have completed. But is this like a problem of the normal interval scheduling, right? We look for the overlaps, because whenever we
Yeah.
find overlap for a particular room of the same size, or maybe now we're considering all the sizes same, but then we book another room, right? So we had that sort of interval problems in somewhere in the lead code also, right?
Yeah, there are a lot of like meeting room, second meeting room, third. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember. There are so many overlap, but that's a one question that there. Those are like normal questions, but here we are going with how we'll be scheduling the meeting proper OOD pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, that constraints can be added, like how those constraints questions are like there can be chances of
You have that logic. Only that logic could be tricky. You have check available. And I think we don't need intervals. We can use meetings itself to find the interval if we are going with this design.
Okay. Yeah.
but
Well,
so
meetings has a interval as a attribute there. Yeah. So some would
either
abstract it.
we need meetings or either we need a meeting because intervals itself, yeah, that's one. Yeah, I got your point that meetings itself will have everything, then why we need this interval. Gotcha.
So this
Okay.
check available could be different logic, like how we want to do. We want to keep them in sorted order. Something we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like there could be extra logic here. When you do check available, you have to sort all your meetings or your intervals, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, this logic won't work. What you just written.
Yeah, you will have to sort it. So, okay. So the sorting will be a part of meeting room or sorry, the calendar, right? Yeah.
So let's see. Is this logic? So if you sort also,
Mhm.
was this logic correct?
So this is saying that whatever the I think it needs to be opposite. That's what I am checking if it is correct or not. So whatever the interval, this new timing is saying, if the past time is less than the uh, end of this, like for example, 10:18 start and end time, we want to store this thing. And this inter is having something 12:20. So this is less than
So interval end, which is greater than your interval start. Okay.
but
So your
this
inter start is inside your interval range. Yeah, then it is overlapping.
yeah, this is overlapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay,
18 comes in between.
I put a link in the chat. There is a little question with the interval, and
Yeah,
that is hard question.
yeah,
So
inside it, right. Yeah.
So if we do it in the real interview, we are doing 2 interviews. Why is internet so slow?
Yeah.
So, but the question what Asim was asking, whether the intervals are going to be sorted.
I think that needs to be sorted.
So we have to maintain them sorted.
Okay, so whenever we append it or book an interval, at that time, can we sort it? Something like that?
Yeah, but the problem is we have to sort every time.
Hmm.
So I think there is a question on lead code calendar one that is kind of, I think, similar.
Okay.
So
Probably this
not
one.
100% similar, but we need some kind of a data structure. Like in Java, there is tree map, which maintains the sorted. But here, if you say like I will sort every time when I insert or check, that could be like
I think,
costly.
yeah, that can be done with the in a tree structure. Tree in like in Python, it's not having any tree map, but we can sort it like in a tree structure way. We can
So
have
the
another
tree
entity.
map is as good as a binary search tree.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's as good as binary search tree, and it maintains the it's a balanced binary search tree, so it does not make it skew. If it is skewed, then again it's order of n search.
Mhm. So, but if you make this intervals, list of intervals, make a linked list. So instead of sorting it, when we are inserting it at that time, only we look for a available slot and insert it, so it will all be sorted.
Oh, so you're telling maintain when you insert, maintain them in the sorted order. So
Yeah.
one operation would be costly, either check availability or schedule meeting.
Yeah, yeah. That won't be O of one. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere it would be a costly operation. So if you say book interval or book schedule meeting, just putting interval at the end, then check availability has to do the sorting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is a good idea. Like if it's a linked list, you can easily move around
Yeah.
and maintain it. Yeah, so I think interviewer would like to chat around that.
Yeah. So we might actually be prepared to discuss these things with the interviewer, right?
Because the only core logic here is this one, if which interviewer, like where we actually wrote some logic. Other places it was just entities. So interviewer might be interested in exploring how you will do that.
Hmm. Makes sense. But yeah, I think we did a pretty good job, right? We identified everything here and completed most of the use cases. Yeah, but the cancel meeting we never actually even thought of during the
Yeah,
requirements.
Yeah, in the
So that
requirements
was
also we never thought.
right. That was very important actually. We should have
yeah.
talked about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's good. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.